Hey everyone, welcome back. It is the 11 o'clock live chat, and I am Heather. I'm Director of Education here at Luminess. Guys, we are here each and every day for you, so you learn more and more about Luminess and what we have to offer. We go through skincare, color cosmetics, airbrushing, anything and everything, we cover it. So I hope everyone is having a great hump day. It is hump day today. To be honest, I don't even know what day it is. Hello, Danica. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Hello, Robin. Good to see you as well. So, hey, Elba. So let's get started. Let's start airbrushing. And I was, again, trying to think of different ways to do this so we can kind of experience it. I was trying to think how to experience it when you're first starting to airbrush. And that's something, like you would maybe spray too hard, similar to what I do on Fridays when I do the Flub Up Fridays where I mess up. But, there's always different ways to put things on. Hey, Cindy, I do show you, from putting color cosmetics to only airbrushing, using the velvet veil, not using the velvet veil, doing blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of different ways we can get started. But I was trying to think. I might use Mystic this time. I have a 3 in Mystic here. And I think I'll go ahead and use, I need this real quick. All right. So I'm going to use Mystic, and I'm going to go straight into it. Mystic is a higher pigment load. It is a higher, you're going to get more coverage. So if you first started out, you might get your system and just start airbrushing. And that is perfectly okay. We want you to hold it at least, let me try this a little bit, 4 finger widths away. You want to keep moving and barely pull back on the trigger. Now, this is something you're going to want to practice. It does take some getting used to. It does, that sweet spot where you hold it, where it's not too much makeup coming out, because you're in control over what is being released out of your stylus. So right now it's just air. There's nothing, coming out. It's just air. Nothing is being released until I pull back on the trigger. And so I can, keep going. Now I might, I know I did, thank you, Janet. I hope it stays that way. Now you might pull back too heavy when you first start out. So like, let's say I just go ahead and airbrush over my eyes. Oh, I'm already out. So I did spray too hard, but I can take my little blotter, my little blender, and blend that. So when you're first starting out, I miss you too, girl. When you're first starting out, you can definitely do that till you get used to it. So there's always ways to fix it. There's always ways to correct. So if you need to do that at the beginning, hello, Amber. Then you can. So again, this is Mystic Shade 3. Again, spraying, and let's say I spray too heavy. I'm on purpose going to spray too heavy where I see wrinkles and crinkles. And so I'm going to go in there, and you want to go in there and blot before it dries. Because remember, even if you sprayed heavy, airbrush makeup does dry very quickly. There shouldn't be any dry time, but if you do need it, that means you might be spraying a little bit too heavy, and you might need to do that. I will also tell you, when using Mystic, I find that I need to airbrush over my mouth. And the only reason I would do that is I want to make sure I did it correctly. The only reason I would say to do that is because the hey Trish, because the Mystic is so high pigmented that you really can see if you missed a spot, as far as like this area right here. Cindy's like, for the inside corner, like right here, when you do that, yeah. And especially if you're going to airbrush everything on first, because you can airbrush your lids, you can do all of that with the airbrush. And so if that's easier for you to do in the beginning, where you're just like, and then you can blend in, do it. There's always ways to cheat. There's always ways you can still make it look flawless. You can make it look flawless still, even if you're not doing it 100% correctly. Does that make sense? Because it is so forgiving. So if you need to use your blender at the beginning, or sometimes even if when I'm in a hurry, I might feel like I need to use it as well, just because I wasn't paying attention, or even in my head today, I still think sometimes like, oh, I'm in a hurry, I need to spray harder. No, that's not the case. If you're letting too much makeup out, it's still not, you're still spraying too hard. So whether you're in a hurry or not in a hurry, you still need to make sure that you do it that way, that you're still spraying super light. I'm now going to take rose gold, and normally I do this before the foundation to blend everything, but I'm going to take about 3 drops of the rose gold. And I'm just going to spray that right on the upper cheek. It is so forgiving. I mean, you guys have seen me do it when I start with shade 12 or 14, and then I correct it, and I didn't take off the shade 14. Put a little on my eyes to give me some color on my eyes. This is the Rose Gold Illuminizer. I love this color. I will tell you that the Amber Rose Gold Illuminizer is going to be a great one for fall. You can still use the Amber one. The Amber on the eyes is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to take the matte bronzer. Oh no. Shake them up. I'm taking matte bronzer, still in my old bottle. Do a couple of drops in there. Now I'm using shade 2 to lighten it a little bit. Now know that you can use, ooh, it might be out of this one. So I might have to use another one. So let me show you. Okay, yeah, I am out of this one. So I can use Glow. I could even use, I have an eraser right here. You could use Glow. I'm using eraser to lighten my matte bronzer. And now I'm mixing that together. You mix by back bubbling, which the system's on. There's air that's blowing out. I'm going to block the air and now pull lightly back on my trigger. And that's going to mix everything in there for me. Now I can go in. And again, lightly spraying. And before I see a huge change or a huge contouring come out, I move. So I don't do it until I can see it. I do it till I maybe can see it, and then keep moving. I'm doing a little bit on my eyeballs. Again, this is matte bronzer and eraser mixed together. Blend that in a little bit. Ooh, I like it. So even if I needed to go in, I don't know if I really do need to blend that a little bit, but might as well. Just make sure there's no harsh edges. No, I'm kind of good with that. There we go. Now, I will tell you it's hot in here. So I do feel like I need some fans. But even though I put on the shimmer, oh, thank you, Amy. Oh, good. Yeah, sometimes I forget, guys, the basics. So as far as showing you different things. So you can put both drops in here, lock it, lightly pull back, and that mixes those colors in there for you. So you don't have to get them everywhere. It's not going. So now I'm doing a little bit of the translucent powder. And I feel like I'm pretty shiny. And I don't think it's because of the shimmer I added. I think it's because I'm hot. I need to turn the fan on. We have a bunch of lights in here. So there you go. So that was just with contouring. That was the Shade 3 Mystic. That was the matte bronzer with eraser mixed in to lighten it up a little bit. So you can grab, things that you have and see. Things you can mix are a lighter shade, eraser, glow is another good one. You can put glow in your blush, and that helps kind of soften it a little bit, because we know that our blush is super high pigmented, and we want to make sure, like if you're having issues with it, if you're getting too much blush, I call it blush happy, then you can add the glow. You can add love in it. Those are things that will help when you put it on. Danica, they're actually have a meeting right now about Color FX, so we can hopefully get those out. And you can purchase them individually right now, but we are working on the kits, but they're meeting about it right now. So there you go. All right, guys, that is it for our 11 o'clock. I will see you back here at 3. We will finish the look at 3 o'clock. I hope you have a great lunch. It was great seeing everyone. Yes, Karen, there is that's a question we get a lot. And if you go onto the web, go to the Facebook page and then go under videos, there's a couple in there where I am doing the, where I break apart the airbrush. There's also, you can search it out online and see one there as well. All right. Oh, yay. Cindy tried the apricot. Oh, I bet that blush is pretty on you, Cindy. All right, guys, I will see you very soon. Have a wonderful day. Have a great lunch, and I will see you back here at 3. Bye for now.